So you're starting a business, planning to start a business, or perhaps have already had one up and running for a long time. And you know that the success of your venture, while it starts with providing value through your products or services, hinges on making others aware of that value that you offer. The first step to establishing your web presence to make that happen is registering a domain name. And that's exactly what I'll show you how to do in this video. Let's do this. Welcome to the video, How to Register Your Domain Name with NameCheap. I'm really excited to have you here. I'm Kevin Stryker with TRU LIFT Digital Marketing, and this is video 2 in a 12+ part video series on how to easily create a web presence for your business, even if you have zero technical skills. Starting with a business idea in mind, or existing business in place if you already have one, like I said in the intro, the first step to creating a web presence is locking down that domain name or your website address, so your customers and potential customers know where to find you on the web. Now, I could just blow through this video super fast, click here, go here, enter this, etc., like the other videos on YouTube, or I can provide you with greater value by helping you steer clear of pitfalls and potential problems that result from setting things up too hastily, because that will just cost you more time and aggravation down the road. Registering your domain name is an important step and should be done correctly. I created my first website in 1996, and I've already done a lot of the wrong things, so I'll do my best to ensure that you can avoid that. And very quickly before we get into it, I'll just add that if you are interested, I've also put together the Ultimate Web Presence Checklist that you can download in PDF version for free that contains all the steps that we will be covering in this video series, taking you from this point with perhaps no website or web presence to a functioning website and social presence that is set up to track visitor interactions with your brand and or company and retarget those visitors so that you can get and keep more customers. Use it to follow along or as a guide to make sure you don't miss any steps in the process or perhaps do them in the wrong order. Just click the link on your screen right now to download your checklist. Okay, let's get right into it. At the simplest level, owning a blog or website involves two main pieces, your domain and your hosting. The domain name or web address is the address on the internet that people use to find your site, and the web hosting is the service that actually stores your website's files. You put your website files, which contains all the data like text, images, and coding related to your site's content on your host servers, then tell your domain to point to those files on your host servers when someone puts in your web address or domain name into their browser. In this video, we'll deal with the first part of getting that domain name registered. In the next video, video 3, we will talk about lining up your hosting provider. And then in video 5, we'll go over how to point that domain name to the hosting provider so that the two of them can work together. Okay, there's the theory. How about we put this into practice? As I mentioned, let's assume that you have your business name in mind that you would like to get your domain name for. I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on the internet, so when looking into business naming, if you haven't already done so, you may want to check with your local Chamber of Commerce, local business development office, or appropriate agencies to make sure no one else in your geographic region, state, province, or even country has the same name for their business. It would suck to build a business and your brand around a name only to find out in a year or more that your business is getting confused with somebody else's and you have to change names. For me, the business name that I'm going to go with is TRU LIFT Digital Marketing. And with that in mind, I would like to get the domain name truelift.com. Very quickly, as a side note, as a general rule, if you get the chance for your business, you will likely want to get a .com or commercial extension. Failing that, if it is already taken, then a .net, or if you are a not-for-profit, for example, you may want a .org. As you will see shortly, there are numerous other extensions that you can get depending on your business, but .com is a solid catch-all. Just my opinion. Okay, let's get a domain name. So to get to the NameCheap website, simply click on the link in the description area of this video. But before you do, in the interest of full disclosure, this is an affiliate link. If you feel you are getting value from this video and from the rest of this series, I would appreciate it if you would use these links. It helps me keep this information free. The links are provided to me directly from NameCheap or their affiliate managers. You will not pay more by using these links. But if you don't feel that the value is there, and if this is the first video that you've watched from me, then perhaps I haven't earned that click from you. In that case, feel free to go directly to namecheap.com and you'll end up in the exact same place. No hard feelings, we can still be friends. If you later feel I have earned your support, then please click the link before you purchase. I really would appreciate it. You will see a page similar to this. The UI or user interface, basically the way the site looks, may appear slightly different to you as companies are always changing their UIs, but basically you will see a screen like or pretty similar to this. Across the top header, you get an idea of the products that NameCheap offers and the functions that they provide. Under the Domains tab, You've got registration, transfer, and so forth down the line. They offer hosting built in and various functions related to that. They've got a drop-down related to apps, security, and then of course once you get your account set up, you're going to have the ability to do a few things in there as well to manage your site. If you go down the page a little bit, depending what you intend to use NameCheap for, they give you some suggestions of services you may require from them, basically upsell services, depending on whether you're looking as an individual, business, or reseller. You'll likely want business, but that depends on you. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, there is a testimonial section to give you some comfort with what other people are saying about NameCheap. You can chat with a live person if you want, or get stuck with anything, and then you have more links to various parts of the site at the bottom in the footer section. Let's just go back up to the top. What we are interested in here is a domain name, and in particular, registering a domain name. Now, NameCheap also offers hosting, but I personally use NameCheap for domain registrations only. So why is that? Would it not be easier to get both of your domain name and your hosting from the same provider? One login, one password, probably integrate well together, right? Well, it's nothing against NameCheap. The reason I do it, to be honest, is because I'm a little paranoid, I suppose. Unfortunately, there are bad people on the internet. I'm not trying to fearmonger here, although it might seem like that. In this video series, in addition to establishing a social presence, you will also be creating or improving a tremendous asset of your business, your website. I'm just not comfortable with keeping all my website eggs in one basket, and I'm definitely not alone in that sentiment. If someone were to hack my hosting account, which I would have a backup of, and I'll show you how to do that as well, and get access to my files, but not be able to access my domains, I would simply take my backed up files and set up new hosting and point my domain to the new host. Your domain is still safe. Or if down the road for whatever reason I want to change hosting and I had my domain name registered with the same company, I would have to transfer the domain name to the new host as well, which can be time consuming, annoying, and confusing if you aren't tech savvy. I registered my first NameCheap domain name in April 2012 and have since had 10 more domain names registered with them as well. I haven't had one problem with their service. They have a great search feature, which I'll show you in just a second, and they have great customer service. So let's get me NameCheap domain name number 12 and learn how you can get yours as well. So like I said, what we are interested in today is domains, and registration of domains in particular. I'm going to right click on it and open it up in a new tab to show you where you can find a little more information specific to registering a domain if you're interested. The page has a similar format to the home page. If you scroll down a bit and are curious why you might want to register a domain name, it explains why here. But what I'm more interested in is showing you down here towards the bottom. Here you'll get an idea of the features related to registering a domain name with NameCheap, and then the pricing that is available. So you can see that you can register various TLDs, top-level domains, or extensions. Each has a bit of a different price. You can see the different prices depending on how many years you commit to. It's slightly cheaper to commit to a longer period, a whopping 10 cents a year or so, so I imagine the only reason you might want to opt for a longer term is the convenience of not having to renew annually. I just go annually. They provide you with a lot of notification before your year is up. In my experience, you get an email notification at 1 month, 15 days, 7 days, 3 days, and 1 day before the expiry. Just ask my wife. I need a lot of reminding, but even for me, 5 reminders will work. Okay, just wanted to quickly show you that. I'll close out of that tab. I mentioned support earlier, so I'll quickly highlight the support drop down here. There is a support center, support update info, a knowledge base. You can submit a ticket, converse through live chat, and report any abuses within the system like spam, phishing, scams, copyright infringements, etc. I'm going to go here to the box in the middle. The root domain that I want is TRU LIFT. I just put that in and that's it. I don't need to add the .com extension here, and hit enter. And unfortunately, this tells me the domain that I want, truelift.com, is not available, which sucks. I've got the X here and this thing here saying it isn't available, and down here I've got make an offer. So if I really want truelift.com, there is the option to make an offer to the owner. So if I click on that link, I can make my offer and NameCheap will present that offer to the owner. I'm not interested in doing that. I just really don't want to make an offer. But what I am interested in is checking out the WhoIs information for that particular domain name. So if I click this link, that is going to open up a new tab. If I scroll down, this gives me some data on the domain name truelift.com. The registrar, which is the company that registers the domain name, like in our case NameCheap, is Epic Inc. The domain was created December 31st, 2006, updated March 16, 2017, but more importantly, it expires December 31st, 2017. So I'll make a note of that, and maybe I'll have a shot at possibly purchasing this domain at that time if they don't renew it. Now, of course, I'm not going to wait for it. I need to get my site rolling now. But maybe I would want it in addition to the domain that I will get today. Or perhaps down the road, it can be my main site, and I can redirect all the traffic on my site that I'm going to create now to it. Now, in most cases down here, you will also see the name of the person that has this domain name registered, or the registrant. In my case, you would see Kevin Stryker with my business name, where I live, including street, city, state, country, and then my phone number. In this particular instance, the fact that I'm not seeing that personal information for the registrant here is due to the fact that this person who registered TRULIFT.com has used a service that acts as a privacy blocker. So rather than seeing all of that person's information, you are just seeing the contact information for a third-party privacy company. In this case, Animize Inc. Now, if I open a new tab, I can open the site that NameCheap pulled that information from by typing WhoIs.com. And then if I go to this field here and enter TRULIFT.com and hit enter, it's basically the same information we saw on the last page. You have the registrar's name, the creation date and update date, and the expiration date. Down the page, you will see the personal registrant information that in this case is blocked and substituted with the information for the privacy company. And if I wanted to open a new tab to see what the site looks like, TRULIFT.com, you can see that this is just a placeholder. It doesn't redirect anywhere and they are not using it, and it is not a potential competitor to TRU LIFT Digital Marketing. This person likely bought it for the purposes of reselling it to someone. So like I said, I could offer that person a price, but I'm not going to bother. I just don't want it that bad. I just wanted to show you some of the roads that you can go down to find some of the information on a particular domain if you're interested. And I also wanted to show you what the WhoIs site is and the information contained in it for reasons I will soon explain. Okay, so I'll just close these tabs. Obviously, I can't get TRULIFT.com, so I'm just going to go back and I'm going to try again. How about TRU LIFT Digital? And hit the search button. And that tells me that it is available. Check marks tell me that it is available, as does the text, and they provide me with a price. So now, since I want it, I can either put in my shopping cart here or here. I'm going to go here. And then I can view my cart. So the price is in US dollars, but if I want to change that to euros, British pounds, Canadian dollars, etc., I can. Here I just want to confirm that I've got the right domain. That's right. I can change the number of years if I want. I showed you earlier the price really doesn't change much. I can auto renew it if I want, which means it will just charge whatever card I put on file when I open the account with them. I'm not going to bother. Remember, I said they will remind you quite a bit. It's up to you. There's a small ICANN fee of 18 cents, which stands for the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, a necessary fee to get a domain name, whether you get it through NameCheap or otherwise. I can X out of that item in my cart if I change my mind and don't want it, and it gets deleted from my cart. WhoIs Guard, as it says here, grants you anonymity and privacy. What that is a feature that is free for the first year that hides that personal information of yours on that WhoIs.com website. Basically a privacy blocker. So if the guy that owns TRULIFT.com that I showed you had not had a privacy blocker like WhoIs Guard, anyone on the internet would have been able to see who he is, what his mailing address is, company name, etc. A privacy blocker just replaces all of that information with that of the privacy blocker company. Now, I'm not out to hide anything or do anything shady, that's for sure, but internet privacy where you can get it isn't a bad thing in my books. I can toggle that off, but it's free for the first year, so why not just keep it? The same thing with a premium DNS. You can toggle it on or off. It apparently has superior uptime and extra protection and speed, but I will not have a huge site right out of the gates that could even benefit from that right now in the foreseeable future anyway, so I'll just leave that off. And then there's the opportunity to get some additional stuff. Quite honestly, I don't go for any of that, so I'll just go back up to the top. Of course, it's up to you. I don't have any promo code, so I'm just going to hit confirm order. Before I do, I just want to quickly mention I've got TruLiftDigital.com in my cart, but while I'm here, I might want to see if TruLiftDigitalMarketing.com is available. It's kind of long for me, so I prefer to go with my main domain of TruLiftDigital.com, but I may want to buy it anyway. The reason for this is once I establish a bit of a name for this company, if someone remembers the name of my business, TRU LIFT Digital Marketing, but not the exact domain name of trueliftdigital.com and puts trueliftdigitalmarketing.com as the URL, I can redirect them to my main URL of trueliftdigital.com. By redirecting, I mean someone types in trueliftdigitalmarketing.com, but they automatically go to trueliftdigital.com. I'll show you how to do that in video 5 of this series if you're interested. Or, if someone down the road decides to call their business TRU LIFT Digital Marketing, I want to take that domain name so they don't. Maybe it prevents possible headaches later. The reason I bring it up is maybe you want to look into something like that as well. Just something to think about. Anyway, I'll do that off screen. For this video demonstration, I'll just keep going with the first domain name. I'll hit Confirm Order. That's going to take me to this page where I can either log into an account if I already have one, which I do, or I can create an account. For the purposes of this video, I'll create a new account to show you what that looks like. Just follow the instructions on the screen to create a username and password. Rather than have you watch me type, through editing, I'll just quickly skip to having the information already added. I just wanted to jump in quickly and say that for those of you who intend on watching this entire video series, or even for those that don't, when creating a web presence, you're going to run across numerous instances where you will be setting up new accounts that involve passwords. To help you out there, since it's nice to have all your passwords for your web presence in one spot, I've created a web presence password tracker that you can check out and download if you want by clicking on the link on your screen right now, or down below in the description area if you're watching this on YouTube, which will explain what it is and how to use it. Pause this video now and check that out if you want, and then come back. If you do decide to download the password tracker, there is a section where you can input your NameCheap username, password, and email that you used to sign up with to help you keep that information together. Even if you don't get the password tracker, make sure to keep this information someplace safe and handy. Let's keep going here. If you want to be on NameCheap's newsletter mailing list, keep this box checked. I'm going to uncheck it. And again, I'm not an attorney, but you might want to check out the terms of service, since going forward would mean you agree to them. The link is here. And then click Create Account and Continue. My browser wants to know if I want to save that password. I'll just close that. This is the page that pops up. It kind of lets you know what stage you're at. Right now, obviously, we're in the account portion, but after we are done filling in the information below, we'll go to Setup, Billing, Order, etc. We'll go through all of these steps right now quickly. It kind of auto-populated these two fields here. I'll just quickly fill this out. It's pretty self-explanatory. Rather than have you watch me type, I'll just edit my information in there off screen. Just put in your company name if you have one. Fill in your address, including city, state, zip, and country. Then fill in your phone number and fax if you have one. For extra security, you can require phone verification in addition to requiring a password in the event that your password is stolen or hacked. To reset your password, you will receive the new password by phone. It's up to you. I'll just leave that one unchecked for now and click Continue. It basically takes you here to the setup stage, and you just verify that the information here is correct. This is the information that will show up on the WhoIs.com website if you do not have WhoIs Guard. Pretty basic. It can be all the same contact information for registrant, administrative, technical, and billing contact, or you can modify it as applicable. Then you get to this WhoIs Guard section. It suggests just to keep the box checked to enable the WhoIs Guard at the time of purchase. Perfect. You can check this box if you want to save the contact information for future purchases. I'll just leave it off and just hit Continue again. So here you are in the billing section. Just fill out your credit card info. I'll do that in a second. If you scroll down a bit, it's just got your contact information for your receipt. Remember, this is a tax-deductible business expense, so put your receipt when you get it in a safe place. It's not a ton of money, obviously, but bookkeeping can be a real pain, so just a friendly reminder. As soon as you're done with your domain purchase, you will receive an email with all the relevant purchase information that you can print off for your files. And then there are some renewal settings. If you get lost with anything or are unsure or have any problems, remember you can always chat with a live person. So I'll go to the top and fill that form in right now and keep going. Here's all my card information, blurred out for my own protection. I can check this box if I want NameCheap to store my credit card information. That's up to you. You can then check this box to have your registration automatically renewed, or the boxes below it to just have your domain automatically renewed or your WhoIs Guard automatically renewed. Like I said, I'll leave that unchecked and hit Continue. And that basically takes you to your order page, kind of your last opportunity for confirmation. Up here it says it is using the previous settings to configure domains, etc. This is where you review your settings. You can update your shopping cart, change your WhoIs contacts, and payment details. Scroll through everything and make sure everything looks good to you, including payment details and so forth. Here's your last chance to change it. If not, hit Pay Now. And that's basically it. They are smart marketers, so they're hitting you up with a quick quality survey as part of the thank you. You can X out of it to skip it. I'll quickly give them some love. Okay, there you go. Thank you page. You are done. That's it for this step. If you followed along with me, you just registered your domain name with NameCheap. Congratulations. You will be getting a couple emails now from NameCheap. Look for those and I'll see you in the next video where we will keep rolling with the setup of your website by getting your hosting lined up so that you have a place to save your website's information. If you want to subscribe to the TRU LIFT Digital channel on YouTube to get notified of new videos as soon as they are live, just click on the logo on your screen right now to do so. If you want to go directly to video 3 now, just click on video 3 and I'll meet you over there. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.